So Saturday morning, January 20th. This time of year is sugarcane harvest season. So these are the guys that drive out to the fields and pick up the sugarcane and then haul it to the factory for processing. So it's pretty small little road to get that big old truck on, but these guys are actually chopping the sugarcane, which is kind of what the government's trying to get people to do here. Usually they cut the whole cane, but in order to do that, a lot of the people burn all the excess leaves off, and so like that's why this time of year is always so much smog and pollution and PM 2.5. So what they're trying to do is get these, like a combine that goes out, chops them into small pieces and hauls that sugarcane back that way, rather than chopping it whole and taking the whole, because the sticks are 5, 6, 7 feet long, and those trucks run up and down the highway. Right now they're just one after another after another after another, and they're all pretty slow, so it really makes travel this time of year on 2-lane divided highways kind of a pain in the butt. But yeah, so we'll hopefully catch those guys when they come back. I got steel delivered for my roof project, so I'm going to start working on that today. So I just got 8 pieces. The blue one there is a little bit thicker than the others, so the blue one will replace this one. Now I just got to figure out what I'm going to do, if I'm going to connect to these up here and come this way, or if I'm going to go down to this beam here, the bottom beam, and come this way. If I do that, I can connect over here and make this all one level. But I'm not sure exactly how I want to do this yet. So I'm going to look at all the different possibilities, and if I have to make it 2 different levels. I still haven't sold myself on bringing this roof over this way. But yeah, I just got to try to work one thing out at a time. Let's see what's going on. So, but yeah, that's where we're at. Hopefully we'll catch those guys coming back, and I'll show you what it looks like when they're done. So about an hour they should fill that truck up and be right back. Goes my neighbor off to work, and here comes the truck about an hour later, loaded to the gills with chopped sugar cane. So pure cane sugar, right there's where it comes from. Loaded down, and our road ain't big. And that's a tight turn down there. That's why there's not many big semis, and none like the big Kenworth and Peterbilts with the long nose on them. They're all the European style short fronts, and most of them are these tandems like this. Free sugarcane. There you go. So there's a piece of the sugarcane, fresh from the field. What's nice when they don't burn so each one of these junctions there's a leaf, and so they burn all those leaves if they go in and cut it by hand, because it's just too thick for the workers to get in there. And these leaves are just freaking sharp. Uh, that's why you see the workers that go and cut all the sugarcane and the rice and everything. They have ski masks and long sleeve shirts and gloves and long pants, because these things just tear you up. So let me skin this and I'll show you what it's like. All right, got the first beam set, and I'm leaving that long on purpose. This roofing material is pretty light, so we got this, our property line. I put it over here so you can kind of see. Our property line's kind of at a slant from everything else. So what I think I might do is just to put an extension right here. Oh, getting cramps. Time to quit for the day. It's only 10 o'clock. Anyway, if I can get through this, let me stop for a second. Okay, back. Had to sit down for a minute and get some water. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll just put a little extension out here for a couple feet, and then I can put another panel. And this will just be, it'll be outside of my shop. Where I can store, you know, scrap metal and things like that. That won't be in the shop. It'll be on the backside, kind of hidden, except from these folks, but I don't think they care. But anyway, so that's what I'm gonna do. Now I was gonna put these bottom up face, but then I'd have to cut these vertical here and then cut the other ones vertical, and then that's kind of a weak joint. So what I'll do is I'll overlap these about 6 inches, and then I can weld on the top, on the bottom, on the front, on the sides. So I got about 6 or 8 different planes that I can weld to, and I purposely made these, this one's thick, that one's thin, thick, thin, thick. So I got them, I planned on them so they're a little bit heavier duty to support that extra weight out there a little bit. So, and again, this roofing is super light, and we don't have a snow load, we don't have anything like that to really, only thing is when we clean the roof, but I can't get up there really because I bend the roof here. You can see this one's already kind of bent, just my big butt, and that's 80 centimeters. But when the Thai people up there, you know, 120 pounds soaking wet, it's no big deal. So this is what I'm gonna do. I got 7 of these to put in, and that still leaves me a little bit of an overhang. And so what we came up with, what we decided on, we'll have this section to be a little bit higher, and then I'll come drop down, and this section here will be stepped down like it is now. And then, you know, and I may not do this for a while. We may just go ahead and move on to the carport, but main thing is I would like to get my shop built and get this cement in, and then that way we can do the carport and get the car out of the sun. So but it's a little bit at one little project at a month. So I spent $100 on steel yesterday. So $100 on steel. That's not too bad for the carport, and then it'll be about another $100 to roof it. So $200 for a carport, not so bad. We can deal with that. So that's kind of, and I know it looks kind of hodgepodge, but you know, that's just the way it is here. So this is Taj Mahal for most people over here, unless you go into the Phalung areas. But this is a par for the course in my neighborhood. So, and I'm not trying to impress anybody, so I'm just trying to make functional space. So this will be my shop area, all undercover, and then that'll be a parking area. So that's what we're shooting for. So just to give you an idea, this is the field they're cutting. So to give you an idea how tall, sugarcane gets. So they got. So in the old days, they'd burn it and get rid of all this. Because this stuff is like you could just about shave with that. So if you can imagine walking through there, so that's why they cut it down at the base and then stack it on the trucks. But the government's trying to get everybody to do this so they don't have to burn it, and it has really helped over the years. So, and then the other thing they're doing is cutting hay from the rice. They're baling it, and all that used to stay in the fields, and they used to burn it. So it really helps out a lot with getting rid of so the combine is way down there, so I'll stick around till he comes back up. But that other truck looks like it's about full, so he may not make it back up here. So let's see what we got. This guy's all covered up and getting ready to leave, so he's loaded up. So he's getting ready to take off. We've got him a big load. I don't know if I'm in his way. I don't think I am. He's just chucker block full. I love how they add these extensions on. Oh, up and out he goes. And he's got about I think the sugar factory is about 60 kilometers away, so about 35-40 miles. So he's got an 80-mile round trip. These guys are out here making their way back up here. So I've never actually seen this, so this will be new for me as well. So let's go see what they got going. Got all kinds of birds flying around, because you know that's loaded with insects. Those swallows are just going crazy over there. And it looks like they got the back one full. About full. They're not doing too many rows at once, though. That's one thing. They're taking in the blast zone area here. So you can see it leaves the field pretty clean. I mean, that saves a whole lot of burning. You can just imagine if they burned all the brown off of here, how much waste that creates. So this method is a lot better. I mean, even 10 years ago, this time of year, you can't see anything. But if you look at what's left, you know, there's still a lot of green in there, and so that's till that under, that makes good fertility. And this stuff does decompose pretty quick, I do know that. When I went to Nicaragua, they were using the they had a big water wheel, and they were crushing the cane with a water wheel, and then all the spent cane, after it had been juiced, they would let it dry for a while, and then they'd put it underneath the, they had like a line of vats basically, and they would boil the sugar water down and make like make bars out of it. So, you know, they could turn and make, they would make whiskey and stuff out of it in the more juicy stage, and then they would make like a syrup out of it about halfway through, and then after all the moisture's boiled off, they'll put it in forms and made little square chunks of sugar, like oh, it's pretty hard, but like you can grate it and get the sugar, and it's super sweet, really good. So he's got to get turned around, the tractor's got to get turned around. So the driver's sitting way, not like an American combine, a little bit different looking, but pretty similar. So he's backing up, shifting the discharge chute over to the other side. He just makes his way in. They're really gonna fill up the back up there. Actual John Deere product. So yeah, that's a much help. So that's sugarcane harvesting the new way. Yeah, I'm trying to get a shot of those guys feeding, but they just took off. So what little water is left, there's all these little tiny fishes. And these guys come in, fishes and frogs. And these guys come in and saw him pulling some watermelon out somewhere up here. Well, let's see if we can go find that. So there's a nice shot of the rice. Won't be too long till that's harvested. So you can see there's still water in here, and we're well into the dry season. It hasn't rained in quite a while. But the reason why this spot here can have rice still, so this would probably be the second cutting for the year. And the reason why they can grow this in this spot, and if you look out in the other areas, there's not. So what they do is they have these deep ponds, and they'll pump out of these deep ponds. So in the rainy season, this is right up to the road. Water's way up to the road, so you can see where the water table's. That's a good 20 foot down. So our well, for example, the water in the ground is down that far. So that's how far we're pumping it up. Now when it starts to go even deeper, this is January, so we probably won't get rains again until March, April, around late April we start getting some rains. So you can see how far that's going. But this water's soaking back down slowly, and they'll drain these off here pretty soon because the rice is really starting to lay over. So even there you can see some of it's laying over. So it's heavy and it's ready to go. So you can see some of these ponds, like right out there, that's all been harvested, and they're not trying to put in a second one, so they must not have an access to water over at that spot there. Now what a lot of people are doing are putting in these solar wells and just letting them run, but that's kind of a catch-22 too, because it'll drain the water table as well. So here's a good example of a field that's been cut. So you can see all the residue that's left after the cut. Now a lot of people are now baling this for the livestock, straw bale, where before they used to just burn this. So that's really taken a lot of pressure off the atmosphere too. So if you look right here, you can see the hills, and let me see if I don't know if that'll help. If you zoom in on your right through there, you can see the hills, but there's hills running all along right here in here, but you can just barely see them. That's how cloudy it is today, and it's just haze from the PM 2.5 smoke from everybody burning the residue. So it's gotten a lot better, and just those two things, baling the straw and cutting the sugarcane like this, help a ton. So now if they can get everybody like myself to stop burning all their waste, but really got to have a place to make compost. You can't, it's not very good to make it out in the open. So all right, and the tree I planted in my yard is going to end up like this guy. And here towards the April, at the end of the rain, at the end of the dry season, it'll have red flowers all over the top. But this one's pretty old and kind of busted up. It's actually two different trees, but they make a nice umbrella shape. So I really like these trees. I think it's acacia. I think, not sure. So one-man operation here. What I did is I just drilled a couple holes in there. That way I can screw a short screw and hold the two together, and then that way I can just get it up there, and then I'll come back and I'll do all the welding without having to support it and try to tack it and everything at the same time. So easy to zip a screw in there. So I put it on time lapse and show you my jerry rigged operation. So what I got is I got a rope right there. So I set it up that side, pick it up, slide it into the rope, and then I just have to lift it another couple inches to get it lined up. And that black line is 6 inches from the end, and so I line that up with the end of the previous beam, so I got 6 inches of overlap there that I can weld to, and that should be plenty strong. I was hanging off of that. I did the weight testing on that and bouncing up and down on that, and it's sitting there. It's not even welded on that end yet. So yeah, it's 2 screws and welded all the way around. Should be okay. Again, there's no snow load or anything like that. I wouldn't do this in the States, but just got to watch for wind load and rain. So all right, put you on time lapse and let you watch. All right, so I got those all in place. Time to take a break. It's starting to get hot. It's 9:30. It's going to be a hot one today. But yeah, I got those all in place. Now all I have to do is tack on this end, tack on that end, and then we're done for a little while. Go and get the runner pieces, and then order the roofing at the same time. And then what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut these off, take this whole section here off, and then I'll tack right to there and put another one out here a little bit lower. So it's going to be where that line's at. There'll be a bar going across here to this other pole when I get it set. I was going to try to make something, because this is a big, thick, heavy beam, steel beam. So I was going to mount to there, but going to have a carport here. So there's going to be 2 posts. And what I think I'm going to do, I was waiting to bounce this off of a buddy, but they never called. So, well, wrong room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line a post up with that corner, with the middle, and that end. You know, that's why I've got so much over there, but I really want this stuff supported as much as possible. So I could have moved this one over quite a bit, but then I'd have had, you know, a strange gap there. And I'm trying to keep these guys lined up, because there'll be a wall right there in that first section, and a wall going right there in the first section. That's going to be all closed in. And then I'll have my shop, so there'll be a wall coming this way and a wall coming about halfway here. So my shop will fill about half of this space. Because I'm going to kick this wall out that way a little bit. So it comes, the bedroom walls are going to line up with the posts. They're going to run, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my shop wall out here to the edge of the concrete. And what I may even do is put it in an angle, so I just get that little extra footage. It'll put that wall out of square, but that extra footage would make up a difference. I haven't made up my mind. I may just run it straight with the cement block and go from there, but just kind of playing it by eye. It's nice to keep everything square visually. But so I've got 3 poles to set here, 1, 2, 3, and then I'll set 2 out here. And then what we'll do is same thing we did on the back, is we'll come off of the roof line, come down almost to the gate, and that'll be my carport. And then this will have a big pad in there. We just have the 1 car, and we won't be having a second. So we only need 1 car, and if we have any friends come over, they can park there, they can park out there. The plan is to have like a curved walkway coming over here, and then we'll fill in that back there with the sidewalk there, so you'll be able to walk that way or this way. And then This tree is growing like crazy. Earlier in the video I showed you what it's going to look like. I literally planted this thing 8 months ago. And to show you the difference, this guy I've been kind of taking care of, and he's been in the ground a lot longer. But this is the difference of getting it into the ground makes with these guys. So here's this one, and let's see if I can get it. It's a good 5 feet there. So it's up to my shoulders anyway. So pause you. And this little guy here, he sat in a pot for almost as long. This one's only been in the ground for 2 months, and he's already doing a lot better. But that just shows you the difference. They were both the same exact size. The guy planted them at the same time, but the other one has been in the ground for a good 6 months, 7 months. So that's the difference. And the sunflowers are growing. Those all just volunteer. I changed the water in this and changed out I had just our yard soil in there, but it kept washing out of the pots and making the water super cloudy. And I couldn't get it, so I took all the goldfish and the clear water. They got scared and 3 of them jumped out, so I got 2 left of those. They like to hide, and they were like a carp. Not really a koi. I think it was a breed. These guys are doing happy. Lots of them. I need to probably transfer some guys out of here. But lots of fat mamas. Got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tanks now. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take that tank, I'm going to bury it in the ground once I get this the post set here, because there'll be a post right in front of that pot. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take that tank there, bury it in the ground for a water reservoir. I'm going to put this on top. I'm going to drill a hole through the bottom and turn this into a fountain. So I'll have a little fountain and water all around, water plants all around it. So I transferred a lot of those fish over into this guy, and the 2 remaining goldfish koi hybrids are in here as well, but they got plenty of places to hide, so they're a little bit happier in there. And lots of fish in this one. This was my original tank, and so it's all the little black guppies, and I guess those are a tetra. And then I've got some red, I think they're a guppy as well. But I got plenty of fish. That keeps the mosquitoes away, so that's the purpose of them. I like the water plants, and you got to have fish in there or you'll have mosquito breeding ground. So all right, I'll get set up for welding and maybe put you on a little bit of that after my break. Oh, that hurt. That's what happens when you're disabled and your legs don't work. Just can't keep my balance sometimes. Oh, that hurt. So knocked the welder over, knocked me over, landed pretty hard on my shoulder. That's my shoulder. I broke my collarbone. This smarts right now, right there where the break was. If I didn't have the break and have that extra calcium, I think I would have probably had a broken collarbone right now. So, oh, okay. Take a break. Oh. It's a young people's game. Need the proper ladder. Safety third. These frickin' Skechers, don't buy Skechers type Crocs. They suck. They make your feet stink. Don't stay on your feet. But my Tevas are a month away. My good flip-flops are a month away. They're in Japan right now, waiting for my buddy to bring them over to me. Because I can't afford to pay the shipping from the States or the taxes once they get here. So, all right, let's get this stuff cleaned up. Luckily, my welder didn't break, I hope. So, all right, let's clean this mess up. Damn. Dip. Oh, that's gonna smart tonight. God damn, I hope it's not cracked. That hurts. Because I cracked it before right there. You can see kind of have a lump. Riding three-wheelers across where they built Target in Topeka, Kansas, they had a transition in the level. It was all perfectly level, and then there was about a 3 or 6 inch incline to another level spot, and didn't even see it. Hit the three-wheeler with it, and the three-wheeler did a complete flip right on top of me. Oh, that hurts right there. Fuck. Oh, yeah, another hour, that's gonna hurt. So I'll put this out on the web today, guys. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. See you later. Oh, the kids just love the water. Just a hose. Just giving the hose. I bought some water balloons, but they're just as fine with the water. It's a nice day for it too. Oh, shoulder hurts, but okay.
Bye-bye.
See y'all later. Please subscribe, like, and share. All that good stuff, but subscribe.